When somebody you've built a life with for years moves in with somebody that they just met, it feels impossible to understand. But here's the psychology behind what's going on. So, one thing that's really important to note is that rebound intensity is proportional to the amount of emotional avoidance. The faster they move, the more they're running away from the feelings that are associated with a breakup and everything else. So, if you really think about it, what it takes to move quickly, it's not true connection building, right? They don't have the time to gain the trust and to really have that sound foundation. What they're doing is they're entertaining themselves and they're getting high on dopamine, right? And it's more about emotional regulation. It's more about medication, than it is true connection building. You can't replicate the shared history, all the inside jokes, the deep knowing of that other person. You can't just like snap your fingers and recreate that. And I think if you really take a moment and sit with that, you know that that's true. It just feels dangerous outside looking in because you can't really gauge, what that person exactly has with your ex either. So I would say, generally speaking, the faster it goes, the less you need to take it seriously. Now, it is real. You went through a real breakup and they've moved in with this new person, right? So you have to accept that. And you have to detach to some degree based upon the circumstances that you've been put into. But one thing that's really interesting to note is that many of these rebounds fail within 3 to 6 months because the second that honeymoon phase ends, now all of a sudden you have conflict. Now all of a sudden you have people not biting their tongues anymore because they don't want to disrupt the dopamine high of the honeymoon phase. And that can change everything. So if you want my help getting your ex back, comment or DM the word magnet, and I'll talk to you soon.